The next exercise slash concept that we're going to talk about is the idea of energy flow between us and our dogs, and our dogs and the environments and whatnot. The concept of energy, it's kind of a hard one to define. It's not really physical energy like a kinetic energy or potential energy, although I think that does come into play when we're talking about the dogs moving and running, of course. But it's not, I want to really think about it as like the spiritual, metaphysical concept of energy, but it definitely kind of has ties into positive energy, negative energy, and how it affects us and our dog. And so we want to be able to be a bit in control of that energy. For example, a really common issue is, let's say a dog in a certain scenario has been scared or kind of growled at or lunged at by another dog. The dog, of course, that's very negative energy. The dog associates it with that environment. It's hard for them to overcome. It's our job then as the handler and as our dog's teammate to help instill some of those tools to help them overcome that. Of course, we want to protect them and try to not allow that to happen in the first place, but we need to be able to have some tools, some coping tools, and some ways to interact with that. Let's say also your dog gets into a trial and is stressed. That stress is negative energy. We want to be able to turn it into positive energy with our dog. It also applies to dogs that go over threshold really easily. Oh my gosh, the dog just ran through the tunnel and the teeter just banged and I can't control it. I'm so excited. Let me go run. I can't deal with it. Being able to take that energy, reel it back in a little bit, and even though that's kind of positive energy, it turns into negative when the dog can no longer function. So energy is kind of an interesting concept, and like I said, we want to be able to either absorb the energy, especially if it's negative energy that our dog is feeling, instead of reflecting it and bouncing it back and forth between our dog and ourselves. We want to take negative energy that might be in the environment and kind of, dilute it or contradict it or counteract it and change it into positive, all of those things. So we need to be able to read that in our dogs and then also react accordingly or be proactive. A very personal experience with this with Moose is even here at our own facility, which he loves, the ring gating, he has bumped into it or somebody has bumped into it and it's fallen numerous times, and he's gotten kind of afraid of that. And so we'd come into trials where he doesn't have a problem with it in training so much, but trials, I think with this elevated level of arousal, oh my gosh, now this is scary. So I would have to help give him the tools. Yes, I'm working through separately dealing with the ring gating is scary, but you've got to be able to get through the scenario as well, like in a trial environment, so that we can get into the ring. So we had to work on things to take pressure off, to make things positive, to distract him from something that might be afraid, and take that scary negative energy and turn it into, wow, we're going to have fun, let's go in, and kind of forget about it, and now let's settle and think. So being able to be that for your dog is so, so, so important. Let's talk about nice, calm energy, because we want to be able to have our dogs anywhere from the very calm, sedate, static, just being still and being chilled out in the environment, to, oh my gosh, let's go, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to work, and kind of all levels in between. And again, all of those wanting to be positive energy with our dogs. We control that flow of energy. And so thinking about the interaction between my dog and myself, the flow of energy happens via touching, right? And the, kind of what my level of tenseness or relaxed state is with my dog. That affects when I'm petting my dog what they feel or what they're getting. They get it via our emotions. If I'm here just really stressed, my dog picks up on it. They get that through body cues. Me being relaxed and not uptight and tense. My facial expressions, dogs read facial expressions so well. So if I'm all tense and worried, and have my brows furrowed, then my dog's going to read that. But if I'm relaxed and smiling and happy, the dogs are going to read that as well. They get energy from the environment. If somebody yells at their dog over here for doing something, or dog barks or growls at another dog, that can negatively affect your dog. So, they get things like that from their environment. They will also pick up things from past experiences. Wow, this wasn't fun the last time we did this, so it's not going to be fun. It's going to be stressful this time as well. So working on creating positive behavior history is also key. All right, so when I'm talking about the flow of energy, working on being able to turn that dial, I think our hands have a lot to do with it. So I want my dog to be able, here buddy, lay down, can you roll over? Good job. To be able to, in an environment, which is an environment where they're oftentimes overstimulated or over threshold, such as in training or in a trial, it's great to be able to go in that environment and just work on being calm and doing a little massage, doing a little T-touch if you do that with your dogs, just hanging out. One of my favorite things to do with my dogs is to come out here, lay down on the turf, and just have my dogs around and just chill out and relax. It makes it kind of counter conditions to, wow, when we're out here, we run and we do and we go crazy and we're barking and all of these things. It just kind of balances it out a little bit, that this space can be a nice, calm, relaxed. For some dogs, they need to learn it's a safe space, that it's not stressful for them. So being able to come out in this environment and being able to relax my dog is important. So this is a good thing to do if you're in a training class and it's not your turn, just going off to the side, having them lie down, and just, working on not just being still, because that's another exercise, but just being not still, but chill, right, in the environment. So some dogs can be still, but their brain is still moving. This is everything's in the moment. And I realize that some dogs don't like a lot of physical touching. My Soleil's a little bit like that. She's like, oh, what are you doing? But just being able to lie down and be calm and happy in a space is perfectly fine to be able to work on with your dog. Okay? From that, I want to be able to gradually, if I need to, turn the energy dial up. So, again, thinking from our hands. My hands can go from being nice and calm. I don't want you to hurt your back because you're moosey come. Nice and calm to, are you ready? And did you see his entire demeanor change? Of course, I use my little verbal ready. Wah, yeah, all right. And being able to turn it up a little bit. Yeah, woohoo. I know, I got your toy. Ready. Woo, yeah. You want this, don't you? All right. Good boy. Here, yay. It's down. Good boy. And so you want to be able to kind of find that perfect balance of energy with your dog, and being able to go back and forth. So, for example, when I was working through this ring gating issue with Moose, to help distract him from, oh my gosh, I'm worried, we would go into the ring, woohoo, yeah, all right, woo, yay. He'd be tugging on his leash, all right, that's good, yay. And he would be distracted from what he was worried about. Good job, good. And then, but that's not the dog I necessarily wanted at the start line. So then we would line up, get in, sit. Good job. Very good. That's nice. What a good boy. Yay. And just take a few moments to kind of calm the energy back down before we started our run. So find ways with your dog that you can go from calm dog to crazy dog back to calm dog, because that's really hard. And be in control of that dial yourself. Let me know if you have questions, and share maybe your experience, what your dog really likes, what gets them crazy, what helps get them calm. Maybe use words like settle or take a break. Maybe there are verbal cues like that you can use besides just petting and touching. But it all needs to be positive and fun for the dog. Okay, have fun.